Hi, I'm Kira Nelson, middle hitter. Thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
Hi, I'm Kaya Ellerton, libero. Thanks for watching Wildcat TV.
Carson Drug in Custer is an independent, family-owned business that exists to improve the quality of life for their customers and to make their community great. At Carson Drug, they work hard to ensure their pharmacists and staff not only assist customers with their needs, but build good relationships that will last for the long haul. If you want a first-class pharmacy experience from a South Dakota independent pharmacy, you've come to the right place. Carson Drug, a community pharmacy designed for you.
Hi, my name is Ava Jari, and thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
Hi, I'm Ava Hone, right side hitter. Thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
We connect people. Have been for 100 years or so. How we get that done? Well, that won't always be the same. But why we connect people? Not in a million years is that ever going to change. We didn't build the communities that made South Dakota. No. We just brought them together.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Town, Custer Wildcats. Introducing the cheerleaders for the Wildcats. Madison Merkel, Sarah Cochran, Ashlyn Zoss, and Skylar Height. Andrea Sturkle. Introducing the starting defense for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. At a defensive end, and senior number 81, Max Speed. On the defensive line, a junior number 71, Rush Turner. On the defensive line, a senior number 69, Brody Lee. On the defensive line, a senior number 55, Cole Nielsen. A linebacker, sophomore, number 27, Quan Harper. A senior linebacker, number 25, Josh Elder. A senior linebacker, number 12, Braden Sales. A senior defensive back, number 10, Kane McLeod. A senior defensive back, number 8, Graydon Juby. A sophomore defensive back, number 4, Cooper Sales. And a senior defensive back, number 1, Ryan Negebauer. Cavaliers are coached by Austin Hagan, assisted by Ryan Speed, Joe Gutierrez, Stone Durham, Nick Wald, Scott Hagan, and Rich McGuire. And now, the starting lineup for your Custer Wildcats. Introducing the starting defense. On the defensive line, a 5'11", freshman number 82, Carter Kern. On the defensive line, a 6'1" senior number 67, Logan Olson. On the defensive line, a 6'1" sophomore, number 65, Jamison Wiles. On the defensive line, a 6'2" junior, number 53, Lincoln Golder. At a linebacker, a 5'8" junior, number 41, Blaze Hart. At linebacker, a 6-foot freshman, number 34, Will Kimball. At safety, a 6-foot junior, number 25, David Lewis. A 5'8" junior defensive back, number 9, Jackson Trapp. At safety, a 5'7" junior, number 5, Riley Trout. At safety, a 6'2" senior, number 4, Brady Virtue. And at linebacker, a 5'9" senior, number 2, Daniel Imermino. Wildcats are coached by Russ Evans, assisted by Dave Williams, Ty Daly, Terry Seachin, Clayton Sander, Joe Williams, Sam First, and Dallas Shields. And at this time, if you would please rise, face the flag at center field, remove your caps as the national anthem is performed by the Custer High School Pep Band under the direction of Miss Catherine Halliday. Great job, Pep Band. Let's play ball.
I'm ready.
Officials for tonight's contest: Mike Oster, John Weber, Chad Brooks, Matt Erpenbach, and Chris Wank. Wildcat captains headed out to the field are Zayden LaPlaca, Logan Olson.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Custer High School Media's live coverage of the Custer Wildcats. My name is Peyton Vincent, and I'll be announcing tonight's broadcast here on our YouTube channel. We're proud to bring you this matchup as part of our ongoing commitment to showcase the dedication, talent, and hard work of our Custer High School athletes. Whether you're joining us from here in Custer, across the state of South Dakota, or tuning in from anywhere in the country, we're excited to have you along for the ride and would love to welcome you to the Custer football field for tonight's football game between the Custer Wildcats and the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. The St. Thomas More Cavaliers come into this one 3-0 and ranked number 3 in Class 11B, while the Wildcats are Class 11A and they're 0-3, with their last loss coming at the hands of number 2 the Madison Bulldogs. Tonight, as we were watching, we had both the defenses announced, as currently we have our coin toss happening at midfield. It is the Custer Wildcats homecoming football game tonight, so the halftime will be a little bit extended for the festivities to happen there in the burning of the sea, and that you will be seeing on the west end of our football field here as the lights are on. It's a beautiful, cool, about 62 degrees right now, with temps dropping down into the mid-50s by the time we will be concluding this game. Gonna be a beautiful night for some football here.
Looks like the Wildcats will get the opening kickoff.
The Wildcats are going to receive the kickoff, so our offense will be sent out there. Our offense did not score in last game against Madison, but the week before put up a couple touchdowns against number 3 Lennox Orioles, as the Lennox Orioles lost that number 1 versus number 2 matchup to Sioux Falls Christian last week. And Sioux Falls Christian is the number 1 seed, and those two teams are in 11A. Tonight's officials are going to be Mike Oster, John Weber, Chad Brooks, Matt Ehrenbach, and Chris Wonk. The starting defense for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers is going to be number 1 Ryan Negebauer at a defensive back, number 4 Cooper Sales, also a defensive back, number 8 Graydon Juvie, defensive back, number 10 Kane McLeod, a defensive back, number 12 Broden Sales, senior linebacker,
Number 18 Carter Stamper.
number 25 Josh Elder, number 27 Quan Harper, number 55 Cole Nielsen, number 69 Brody Lee, number 71 Rush Turner, and number 81 Max Speed. We've got number 18 Carter Stamper here for the Cavaliers, who is going to be out there to kick off. We've got Brady Virtue, Riley Trout, and Danny Imermino back to receive this kickoff for the Wildcats. And we're off here tonight on our homecoming football game. This one's going to be taken by Trout. Trout took it at about the 5-yard line, stumbles up a little bit, and he'll be taken down by 3 or 4 Cavaliers there at about the 17-yard line.
Wildcats will take over 1st and 10.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, starting at their own 17. All right, we've got number 15, Vic Johncorb, under center for us tonight at quarterback for the Wildcats. Danny Imermino and Blaze Arp in the backfield with him right now. Out wide is going to be Brady Virtue and Lewis. They drop back to throw a pass. Johncorb was hit, and that one was almost intercepted by Max Speed. There just was backpedaling a little bit. The ball came out a little wobbly as Johncorb was hit, and that one fell just short of the hands of Max Speed. I know Max Speed in their first game of the season against the Cossacks had a lot of edge pressure there, so he's dropped back a little bit into a pass coverage on that one. Picked that up and recognizes they brought more on this weak side. John corner center, he'll hand this one off to Imermino. Imermino tries to bounce it outside, but he's going to be swallowed up at the line. I think he's going to lose a yard or two on the play. So that'll bring up an early 3rd down for the Wildcats here. They're going to have 12 to go on this one. Danny Imermino 2 weeks ago had a 100-yard rushing game as he popped off a long 65-yard touchdown run against the Lennox Orioles. So we'll see if we can get a little bit of movement here on the offensive side of things for the Wildcats. There's an inside handoff there to Arp. Arp will muscle his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 4th down for the Wildcats, and they will have Danny Imermino step back to punt. So they went backwards 2 yards on that possession, a quick 3 and out, and we'll have a punt here. Punt is muffed. Danny just has to take off running. He's still going somehow. He ended up stepping out of bounds. I don't know how he didn't get tackled there in the end zone. Was almost a safety. But Imermino takes it out to about the 24-yard line on that one. But this will be a turnover on downs. Turnover on downs for the Wildcats, as the Wildcats just picked up about 7 total yards on that possession, as St. Thomas More takes over at the Wildcat 24-yard line.
That is Juvie on the carry.
Down to Juvie on the carry. The senior running back for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. He picked up a couple on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 4. Graydon Juvie there with a nice run. The offensive line there for the Cavaliers really opened up a nice hole there on 1st down. They've got excellent field position, as this pass will go out wide to number 8. That's to Juvie again. And he will step into the end zone. So we have 2 plays for 24 yards on that one, as Juvie scores on the touchdown pass coming from Noah Wald.
Carter Stamper on to attempt the extra point.
They'll have Carter Stamper on to attempt this extra point for the Cavaliers. Snaps there, holds down. Stamper boots that one straight through the uprights. We'll have a score of 7-0. Cavaliers will take the early lead. That one there was a very quick possession for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. The Cavaliers, of course, are 3-0 on the season, with their 3 wins coming over Sioux Valley, Mount Vernon, Plankinton, and Chamberlain. They beat Sioux Valley 28-14, Mount Vernon, Plankinton 29-8, and Chamberlain 35-0.
Cheerleaders will be selling 50-50 tickets.
There were a couple of great blocks picked up there by the Cavaliers that allowed Juvie to score on that 17-yard touchdown reception. As we'll have Stamper back out to kick. Stamper will kick this one off. Taken again by Trout. Trout is tricked up at the 27-yard line.
Wildcats will start 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line.
Again, we've got Vic Johncore under center. This one's Danny Imermino headed out to the sideline. Just as he was about to round the corner there on the outside, he was taken down. Looked like Speed was in on that tackle.
It's going to be 2nd and 13.
Speed and Rush Turner. So that'll bring up 2nd down. That was a loss of 3 on the play for Imermino. The front pressure right now for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers has been really, really good. They've been getting through, pushing the offensive line of the Wildcats back a couple yards and just making it tough on those running backs to get anywhere. False start going to happen out here on the outside for the Wildcats, so there's a little bit of motion there. They're going to back them up again. They'll be at 2nd and 18 here. See if they'll change things up coming back out of this one. Just a little jittery on that play there. One of the wide receivers jumped across and was ready to run her out, it looked like. So, 2nd down and 18 with 8.5 to go in our first quarter here. John Cord takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He rolls out, throws it. This one's going to be intercepted. Speed this time takes this one to the house. John Cord was rolling out, had to throw that one. And Speed will intercept that one. Speed dropped that first one. But he said on that one, I'm not letting this one go to the ground. Picked it off and was able to walk into the end zone so that the Cavaliers now go up 13-0. Kick up and through again for Carter Stamper there. So they'll take the lead 14-0. There's a lot of pressure there on that last play. Again, coming from that defensive line of the Cavaliers, they were able to get right on through as John Cord faked the handoff to Imermino and then rolled out and tried to just make a play. Was hit as he threw it, and this time as he was hit, Max Speed was in the right spot again, and he was able to come up with that one, squeeze the football, and just walk in for that about 17-yard interception return. I'll do my best here to get a couple of the stats and things written down so you can have some recaps and things of that sort. So far, it has been all St. Thomas More Cavaliers tonight. Their defense has been getting stops deep in Wildcat territory. So they've been able to have excellent field position. Let's see if the Wildcats can turn things around here a little bit. This kick deep, gonna bounce at about the 20. Gets one defender to miss, and we'll start at about the exact same spot on our own 27-yard line for this possession. So 1st and 10. The Cavaliers have kicked all 3 to Trout tonight so far. Trout on that one picked up one good block as the ball kind of bounced funny. Glad he was able to just scoop that one up and avoid dropping it and getting pinned super deep. But we'll see here. Wildcats will hand it off to Imermino. Imermino finds a little bit of a hole. The Wildcats this time will get 9 yards on Danny Imermino's carry for this possession. There's a good hole there by the Wildcat front line. Of course, you have Logan Olson, LaPlaca in there, Dalton Marshall, Lincoln Golder. And our end out there is Paul Warnke. So a yard to go on this one. They hand it to Imermino again. Imermino swallowed up. Looked like he found that hole there. Might have got enough for the first down. We'll see if they'll give it to us. I don't have a great angle on this one. As they line it up, they're going to mark it there. A couple of the officials giving it an eyeball. And we get the signal there for a Wildcat first down. So 2 great plays there. Good job by the front line on this one for the Wildcats, and Imermino just running hard right down the middle there. Defensive shift. We'll have a pitch to Imermino. But on this one, Imermino swallowed up right at the line on that one. A loss of 1 on the play. So didn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage for us on that. The Cavaliers there, their front line with Brody Lee, Rush Turner, Max Speed, and Cole Nielsen. A little bit of a shift there right before the snap of the Wildcats, and then they're able to get some outside help from Broden Sales, their linebacker there. Imermino in motion. Handed off to Imermino. Had him getting a little motion. He cuts back just a little bit after a gain of about 6. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 5 to go. Good little motion there. Handoff from John Cord to Imermino. And Imermino hit that gap, was patient, and then cut back across just a little bit to pick up 6 on the play. So bring up our 5th play of the drive. Imermino in motion again. John Core rolls out. Oh, he keeps this one. And he falls forward for a gain of 4. That'll bring up 4th down. And 1 for the Wildcats. Does look like the Wildcats have the punt unit out there. The St. Thomas More Cavaliers and head coach Austin Hagan is going to take a timeout here. And we'll take a quick 30-second break and then be right back. All right, we're back in the action here, and there's a timeout there by the Cavaliers. Both teams are able to talk about it a little bit, and now we'll see the Wildcats have John Core under center. They just go with a play similar to the tush push there that you see the Eagles run in the NFL, and that'll be enough for a first down for the Wildcats. Great play call there. Originally had lined up the punt team, but since there was a timeout taken there, we were able to pick up the first down. So 2 first downs on this drive. We're at 6 plays already on the drive, moving the football a lot better on this one. Looks like the Wildcats have kind of settled in, and can they keep things moving here? Quick handoff there to Arp up the middle. Arp's going to pick up 5 on the play, and the Wildcats will be into Cavalier territory for the first time tonight. There were about 3 Cavaliers there on that tackle right up the middle. Looked like one of them was maybe Josh Elder there, one of the linebackers, and Quan Harper. the two middle linebackers there. Of course, they've got Graydon Juvie there, who scored on the 17-yard reception back at safety. Snap way over John Core's head. He just has to dive on it. It's going to be a loss of
Pete did a great job to
close
prevent the turnover, but it's going to be third
to
and
15.
very long for the Wildcats.
So that'll bring up 3rd and long after having 2nd down and 5 to go. So almost a loss of 20 on that play. Bring up 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 26 to go as we are back on our own 32. The Wildcats switch it up in the backfield. Virtue out wide here. Motion on the play in the backfield. It's a false start. We'll back it up. 5 more.
Wildcats.
After what looked to be a very promising drive there after those first couple of plays, the first 6 plays, now our last 2 plays have been backwards. We'll see if we can get something to come together here on this one. John Core getting pressured. He'll find Virtue. Virtue takes a big shot from number 12, Broden Sales. That pass was complete, though, from John Core to Virtue. They will pick up about half of what they needed, so it'll be 4th down still for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats will punt. The Wildcats get a good bounce, and the Cavaliers will take over at the 30.
1st and 10, St. Thomas More.
At their own 30-yard line. We will see here, St. Thomas More's last possession was only 2 plays before the 17-yard touchdown reception by Juvie. They've got Noah Wald, it looks like, in the shotgun, handoff to Juvie. Juvie's going to get to the outside. He's going to pick up a 1st down and end up all the way at the 49 there to pick up their 1st down on that play. Big hole, and Juvie was able to get to the outside and pick up a lot on the play there. It was Will Kimball, number 34 for the Wildcats, the freshman linebacker there for the Wildcats, that came up and stopped that one. Cavaliers in a shotgun, drop back to pass. Juvie finds number 1, Ryan Negebauer. Negebauer will come up just shy of the 1st down, it looks like. We'll see where they mark it on the play.
Close to the line to gain.
They're going to move the flags on that one. So another 1st down. So 2 plays, 2 1st downs for the Cavaliers. Their offense is definitely clicking there. Their couple of passes have been quick drops, 1 or 2 steps, and just throw it there from the shotgun here. With Wald. Wald's going to drop back and throw a long one. This one's to Speed, and Speed picks up his 2nd touchdown of the night. That was a 41-yard TD reception. So that'll be a quick, that was 3 plays there. So offense is really clicking for the Cavaliers. They're finding the holes there in the Wildcat defense and able to put points up on the board. We'll have Carter Stamper again to kick this one. Snap's good, hold. Field goal is up and good. So it is 21-0 with just 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. So that last possession of St. Thomas More began at their own 30, and three plays later, they've drove 70 yards with that 41-yard touchdown reception. The pass coming from Noah Wald going to Max Speed, the tight end. The Wildcats' last possession was looking very promising on that one.
It's Custer High School principal.
Just a couple of unfortunate things go against them. They end up deep. They do complete a pass, but that pass there was just enough to make up half of the long gain that they needed to have on the play. And then a punt finally had the Cavaliers back in their own territory. The Cavaliers' early handoff went for about 19 yards out to the 49 from the 30, and then a short, and then another, 10-yard pickup on the next one, and then a 41-yard reception there on that. So the number 3 team in Class 11B off to a very hot start here in Custer. Taken again by Trant, about the 5. Trant finds a hole on this one, bounces it a little bit. He'll be out there to the 35, but there's a flag that was thrown down on the play. We'll see what the flag was as Custer will take over. That one there, for a second, it looked like Trant just ran into one of his own teammates and bounced off and didn't really know where he was at, and then decided, well, there's some open field here, as he cut back across a little towards us and was able to take the ball out to the 35. And the flag on the play was a face mask. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, and the possession will start on their own 40-yard line. Let's see if the Wildcats can look to build on the last drive that they had. This handoff comes to Lewis.
David Lewis on the carry.
Lewis picks up 4 on the play for the first possession there.
Second and about 5. 6.
In on the tackle was Cole Nielsen for the Cavaliers. Handoff is faked, kept by Johncore, chased by Speed, going out to the outside. Johncore will spin, sheds a tackler there. He's hit hard by Broden Sales, but not before he picked up the first down, and the Wildcats move into Cavalier territory. Excellent movement there by the Wildcats. Johncore had a nice little fake there, got the first guy to kind of go with the running back, Lewis, in the backfield there on that one, and was able to get outside. The pressure from Speed just had to be chasing him towards the outside, but Veek was able to get out there and then picks up enough for the first down, and Sales came a long ways on that play. They're bringing some pressure. I was going to say, that was an incomplete pass. He did switch hands, but he threw it forward with his left hand. Believe there's going to be an intentional grounding on the play, though. He did have forward movement on it. Yep, intentional grounding on the Wildcats there. So they'll be backed up. It's a spot foul, and then 5 yards from that. So the Wildcats are going to have 10, 20, 32 to go. So back in a similar situation on this possession, although it is only second down on this one. They went to the air last time. Motion. 5 on the pressure. That one complete to ARP, but it'll only be for a gain of about 1 on the play. And as ARP was down on the ground, had to kind of go low to catch that one. He is down, unlike in the NFL where if you're not touched, you can take off running. So they only pick up 1 on the play. That brings down 3rd down and 30 to go. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter with the St. Thomas More Cavaliers up 21-0. We're going to step aside here for about a minute, and we'll be right back for the second quarter.
I'm Senior Lincoln Robb. Thanks for watching Wildcat TV.
You're ready for your next adventure in life, but you seem to be stuck on trying to figure out what to do. Start your next adventure to the Black Hills with Adventure Rentals. See the hills like never before with on and off-road rentals. Nearly 4,000 miles of trails to explore and 2 convenient locations to rent from in Hill City and Custer, providing the best way to see the hills and making Custer great.
All right, we're back in action here. Again, I'm Tate Vincent bringing you this broadcast with my producer Alexa Winkler up in the booth to bring you this Wildcat homecoming football game. The Wildcats are down 21-0 to the St. Thomas More Cavaliers as we start the second quarter here. That handoff hit in the backfield by number 25, Josh Elder. Imermino will be swallowed up, so it'll bring up 4th down and 32 on that one. Our last, we've had one punt go over our head here. This one Imermino's able to get a hold of. He punts it deep. Going to be taken by number 8, Graydon Juvie. I believe he returned one against the Cossacks for a touchdown. He's got room to run here. He tries to cut back a little bit, but Imermino and Will Kimball and Riley Trout all in on that one. That's the Cavaliers. He took that one. It was about a 35-yard return on the play for Juvie. They will be taken over at the Wildcats 35-yard line. So Juvie gives them great field position. I know they had a punt return touchdown against the Cossacks. I don't know exactly who it was, but I would assume it was Juvie if they haven't changed anything. A deep ball thrown towards number 1, Ryan Negebauer. Negebauer laid out for it just inside the 5-yard line, but it was just off his outstretched hands and incomplete. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Cavaliers. Cavaliers have had some good movement on the offensive side of things. They've been able to give their quarterback some good time in the backfield there and a chance to make a pass. There's 3 out wide to the right. They fake the handoff. Quarterback has the option, but he is swallowed up by Virtue. But that was after a gain of 4 on the play. 3 on the play. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 7 to go for the Cavaliers. Let's see if the Wildcats can come up with a stop on 3rd down here. Force St. Thomas More into a decision. Snap here. Pass coming wide to number 10. He did not get wrapped up on that one and then has room to run. He's finally taken out of bounds at the 3. That one was to McLeod. So it'll be first and goal from the 3. There's an opportunity there. It looked like maybe just short of the first down marker to get a tackle, but we were unable to wrap him up. But then Riley Trout and Will Kimball took him out of bounds at the 3-yard line. So now we'll see how the Wildcat goal line defense handles this one. The Cavaliers go with more of an I formation. McLeod leading that rush. It was handed off to Juvie. I don't think he quite made it to the end zone. He tried. He reached with it, but no signal. It looks like second and goal from about the 3-inch line. From my point of view, the ball looks like it's sitting right there on the goal line, but it did look like he was laying just shy. So good mark there by the officials. We'll see here if they go with a little tush push QB sneak or what's happening here. Nope, they go on the handoff to Juvie. Juvie stays upright and he's into the end zone.
With St. Thomas More touchdown.
So Juvie finds himself into the end zone for the second time tonight. His first one was a 17-yard touchdown reception. And now on this one, about a half-yard touchdown run. Looks like the Cavaliers are lining up for 2. They're going to the outside. Nope. Okay, that one there, it is complete. It went to Broden Sales, hit him in the hands, bounced off, and then landed in the hands of Kane McLeod. So the 2-point conversion is good. They'll take the lead 29-0 with 9:26 remaining in this second quarter of action for our Wildcat homecoming football game. I can see why the Cavaliers are ranked and have been ranked most of the season. I know after their week 1 win against the Cossacks, they moved up in the rankings, and since then have continued to climb a little bit. Have a couple more big games coming up on their schedule in that 11B group of teams. But the Cavaliers tonight have been excellent on both sides of the ball. Their offense has been scoring very quickly. That one was a 4-play drive. So their first one was 2, second one was 3, and their most recent one was 4. Kick coming again from Stamper. Trout will take this one. Ran into his teammate, gets out to the 22-yard line. The Wildcats will take over at their own 22.
Riley Trout on the return. Wildcats take over first and 10.
The Wildcats have had 2 possessions where they've crossed midfield and then had a penalty on the most recent one that moved them back to having about 30 to go on the play and deep into their own territory. And the Cavaliers were able to capitalize on it. And then they had a snap that went over the head of John Core and Long on the possession before that. So 2 unfortunate ones. An early handoff to Arp. Arp is met at the line by about 4 Cavaliers. It looks like the one that got the most of him, though, was Cole Nielsen up front in the middle there. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. Looks like Jackson Roosh was in on that one, and number 71, Rush Turner, as well. The two cornerbacks right now are Kane McLeod and Ryan Negebauer for the Cavaliers. The Wildcats have two backs in the backfield with John Core and two out wide in Lewis and Virtue. Big time pressure. Gets the pass. It's complete to Arp.
With the reception.
Arp will
Tackled by
pick
Sales.
up.
Loss on the play.
Nope, he will lose 2 yards on the play.
Wildcats.
Another completion for John Core, though, on it. So it's looking good, but there was some pressure. There were two guys chasing him on that one, so he just had to kind of check that one down. And excellent coverage by the Cavaliers on the outside to keep that player, to keep Arp from getting upfield on them. So this will bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Wildcats. Imermino in motion. John Core getting chased again. He rolls out and rolls out and rolls out and chooses to just throw this one out of bounds. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Wildcats. Going to be a 3 and out. The Cavaliers, I wonder if they're going to bring some pressure on this one. Imermino back to punt. He takes it. Wonder if he just made the choice on his own there, but he's going to come up about 3 or 4 yards short. Oh, no, excuse me. 4 yards short. So that one was a 3-yard drive. And we turn that one over on downs. STM will take over on the 26-yard line of the Wildcats. You've got Wald back to take the snap. He fakes the handoff. They're taken to the air, looking Negebauer's way. Just over the top of the Wildcats defense there. And that play will be a 1 possession for 26 yards. 26-yard reception for Negebauer. The Cavaliers here looking like they're going to go for 2 again. Walled back, they got 3 wide right, 1 left. Negebauer continues to roll out, sneaks that one in there to number 10, Kane McLeod.
2-point conversion is good.
So the 2-point conversion is good. So that'll be 37-0. A lead for the Cavaliers. We're going to take 30 seconds, and I'll be right back.
Again, it's Adventure Rentals.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get...
All right, we'll be back here with Stamper to kick. Same 3 back to return for the Wildcats and Trout, Imermino, and Virtue. This one again to Trout. Trout will take it at the 5. He'll be stuck by number 88, Brody Willits, at the 25-yard line.
He's done a nice job tonight with those. Wildcats take over 1st and 10.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, starting at their own 26. Looks like there's maybe a couple of new faces out there for the Cavaliers. This handoff goes to Imermino. Imermino finds his way for a gain of 5 on the first touch of this possession. Looks like Curtis Farnsworth, number 75, is going to be in at the end here for the Cavaliers. And I see number 72, Marty Reeve, in there on the line. And number 11, Burke Eschmeyer, here at cornerback on the close side. Another handoff to Imermino. Imermino gains 3 on the play, so that'll bring up 3rd down. Good carry there. Two to go for the Wildcats. So a little bit of movement here on this one. A short down here on 3rd, and we'll see if the line can open up a 3rd hole. If the Wildcats coach Evans chooses to go back to a handoff, or if they go to the air here and take a chance. They've got Imermino and Arp in the backfield. Out wide on the far side of your screen is Virtue. They do choose to hand that one off. It was Arp spinning. Kind of got tripped up. Looks like he's going to get marked for a 1st down on that one, so that'll be a Wildcat 1st down on this possession. So their first 3 plays move us enough to get us a 1st down on this one. The front line there again, you got Paul Warnke on the line with, looks like Jamison Wiles, Zayden LaPlaca, Lincoln Golder, and Logan Olson. False start on the Wildcats, so that'll back him up 5 yards. So we'll have 15 to go on this 1st down. And we also have Dalton Marshall again on the line there, as David Lewis will come out. We have Will Kimball on the close side. Virtue outside on the far side of your screen. There are 2 wideouts in the I formation. We'll hand off to Imermino. Imermino will pick up 10 on the play, so they'll have 5 to go. Nice hard run in there by Danny Imermino. So a gain of 10 on the play for him. Couple of nice plays so far on this possession for the Wildcats. Just kind of nickel and diming their way a little bit on this possession. Another touch going Imermino's way. He bounces this one out wide, but he is finally going to be taken down. It looks like number 10, Kane McLeod. Danny Imermino, he had to go a lot of different directions on that one, and will be just short of midfield on that play. But it was enough for a Wildcat 1st down. He kind of ran in to a defender there with about 3 yards to go on the play, so he'd picked up about half the distance to the 1st down. But his momentum carried him kind of right through him. He tried to bounce it out to the outside, but was only able to pick up 3 more, which was good enough for a 1st down. Another touch going Imermino's way. He will get 4 on the play.
Gain of, looks like 4.
Good job there by LaPlaca and Logan Olson, it looked like, in trying to help Imermino gain another yard or so and get him pushed forward on the play. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for your Wildcats. Again, just couple yards at a time here. If you pick up 3 or 4, you're going to be looking fine. And we've got the ball across midfield into Cavalier territory with the clock showing 3 minutes and 20 seconds and counting down here. Snap. We're looking wide to Virtue. That one hits him in the hands and just dropped, and there's a flag on the play. False start on the offense.
Some kind of illegal motion on the
Excuse me, illegal motion on the Wildcats. So that will bring up 2nd down and 12 now. That one there was a pretty good pass where only Virtue could get to it. He got both his hands on it, but on his way down, kind of dropped it for an incompletion on that one. But a pretty good pass there from Joncor going out there, but unfortunately had an illegal motion on the play. So we got 2 wide to this side. Faked handoff. Joncor will try and go up the middle and keep it, but he'll be sacked by Brody Lee of the Cavaliers there. So the Wildcats will be backed up to their own 40 on this one. They'll have 3rd and 19 to go on it. So they need a big gain here on this play. Looks like Max Speed is back in on the end here. He's been applying some pressure. Again, he had that interception return for a touchdown early in the first quarter. Handoff up the middle. Flag on the play. We'll see what happened on that one. A face mask on the Cavaliers. So after the face mask on the Cavaliers, it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Wildcats. The Wildcats are now into Cavalier territory.
Timeout, Custer.
Timeout, Wildcats. So on this possession here, kind of been some goofy things going on with a couple of flags on the possession. But the Wildcats here are in a good position in Cavalier territory with 3rd down and 1 to go. Again, halftime's going to be a little bit longer here as it is homecoming. We've got the firefighters setting up over there with their fire truck and ready to light the sea on fire. We'll have royalty announced and have some different things. And then, of course, allow the 2 teams to have a little bit of time to make sure they're moving and going before the second half will get started. But in the meantime, we've got 2 minutes and 25 seconds here still in the second quarter. The Wildcats currently on their drive. That has been made up of 8 plays. I might have missed 1 or 2 in there as well, but they are moving it. Handoff to Imermino. Imermino finds a hole, stiff arms, carries a guy for about 5 yards before he's finally pushed out of bounds at the 24. So that one there, a gain of about 17 yards. That was some great running there by Danny Imermino. The first contact that came on that play was actually in the backfield where he kind of high-stepped out of, it looked like Rush Turner's outstretched hands as he was trying to make a play on it. But Imermino was able to step out of it and get out to the outside and then just carried one of the Cavaliers there with him for about 5 yards and finally shed him and then picked up a couple more. So Wildcats now on the 24. This one to Imermino again. Patience on that one, and he'll pick up 3.
Gain of a couple yards.
The line there opened up a nice little hole on that left side. Danny patient enough to wait for the hole to open, and he's able to pick up a couple on the play. Some great running there by our senior, Danny Imermino. Imermino had 258 yards rushing coming into tonight's game, but on that one he's going to be swallowed up for a loss.
Loss of a couple yards.
So we'll be back to 3rd and 10.
3rd and 9.
3rd and 9, excuse me, for the Wildcats. We're going to have a timeout taken by the Wildcats. At this time, I'd like to just take a moment and thank all of you listening at home to tonight's broadcast or across the state of South Dakota. A big shout out to the Garage crew back in my hometown of Volga, South Dakota, who are tuning in and listening there. If you are tuned in or listening from somewhere out of state, we'd love to hear it in the chat on YouTube. So if you're willing, please leave that in the comments. We'd like to know where you're tuning in from. As we're coming back to action with 1 minute and 11 seconds. Handoff is faked. Pass is tipped.
Pass incomplete.
And the pass will be incomplete, so it'll bring up 4th down for the Wildcats. The Wildcats are going to send in number 14, Kieran Pasica, to attempt a field goal. She'll be standing at our 29-yard line. We've got Jean Cor. So this will be a 39-yard field goal attempt for Pasica. Snap's good. They get through. But it got touched. Juvie picked it up. He cuts back across the field, picks up a couple of blocks. And he'll return that one all the way for a touchdown. With 40 seconds remaining. I believe that was about a 96-yard return. We're going to see what the officials decide here. Oh, there's a penalty flag on the play, it looks like, all the way back. There's a penalty flag all the way down on the 21. Personal foul, it looks like, on the Cavaliers. So that one there is not going to be a touchdown for Juvie. He ran a lot of yards on that one as he touched both sidelines on the play and took it to the house, but they will be backed up and starting this possession on the 11-yard line. On their own 11. Will be the Cavaliers after the personal foul there. I think it was something with maybe a block. It didn't look like a block in the back, but just where maybe the pursuer didn't really have a chance there. They're taking a deep shot. And that one is going to be number 10, Kane McLeod. Nope, excuse me, number 12, Broden Sales on that one with a 89-yard reception for Sales. So that'll take the lead to 43-0. With 28 seconds left, that possession was one play on this one for the Cavaliers, as was their last one. An 89-yard reception for Sales. They are going to send in Carter Stamper to kick this extra point. That one's up and through.
Extra point is good.
So the Cavaliers will take the lead 44-0 with 28 seconds remaining before halftime. I'm Tate Vincent, and I'm going to step aside for a 30-second break here.
Much to bear. Finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge. And
Broadcast. Currently, Wildcats are down 44-0 here with 28 seconds left until halftime. The Cavaliers will send Stamper back out to kick. They've kicked all of them to Trout tonight so far. We'll see if they do the same. As Imermino and Virtue are the two that have led the team in rushing and receiving yards. Imermino, there's a squib kick down the middle. Trout will pick this one up, so it ends up at him anyway. Makes one miss. They're trying to take the ball from him as he's going down. That was number 4, Cooper Sales, really trying to get in there and rip that ball away, but Trout does a good job of holding on to it. And the Wildcats will take over on their own 26. With 20 seconds to go. Wildcats are lined up. Timeout. Cavaliers. So the Cavaliers will have to take the timeout with 20 seconds left. I believe they only have 2 left now, as the other timeouts were taken by the Wildcats head coach Russ Evans. So here are 20 seconds remaining. In the first half, the Wildcats find themselves trailing 44-0. Of course, if the lead becomes 50 at any point in the second half, the game will be called due to the mercy rule. The Wildcats did have one game earlier did have their first 2 games of the season end early because of that rule. And their most recent one, a loss to number 2 Madison, went the full 4 as the Wildcats lost 43-0. This one will go to Imermino. Imermino running out wide, tries the stiff arm. Still on his feet, took about 3 players to drag him down. We're going to have a flag on the play with 8 seconds remaining before the half. Imermino had a gain. There is a personal foul on the play. So the Wildcats will move on this one. The spot of gain was already up at the 32-yard line.
So we will draw the 50-50 right at the start of half.
So we'll have this one tacked on. 15 yards moves the Wildcats all the way to the 48-yard line.
First and 10 Wildcats.
First down and 10 to go. This one a fake handoff.
With the carry, gain of a couple.
He gains 2 on the play, and the possession will end at the 50-yard line for the Wildcats. And that'll take us to halftime. Wildcats trailing 44-0. I will step aside here as the 50-50 raffle ticket is going to be drawn here in the crowd. And I will come back on with a couple minutes remaining in halftime to talk a little bit about the first half.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Kira Nelson, middle hitter. Thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Carson Drug in Custer is an independent family-owned business that exists to improve the quality of life for their customers and to make their community great. At Carson Drug, they work hard to ensure their pharmacists and staff not only assist customers with their needs, but build good relationships that will last for the long haul. If you want a first-class pharmacy experience from a South Dakota independent pharmacy, you've come to the right place. Carson Drug, a community pharmacy designed for you.
Hi, my name is Ava Jari, and thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
Hi, I'm Ava Hone, right side hitter. Thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
We connect people. Have been for 100 years or so. How we get that done? Well, that won't always be the same. But why we connect people? Not in a million years is that ever going to change. We didn't build the communities that made South Dakota. No. We just brought them together.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
I'm Senior Lincoln Robb. Thanks for watching Wildcat TV.
You're ready for your next adventure in life, but you seem to be stuck on trying to figure out what to do. Start your next adventure to the Black Hills with Adventure Rentals. See the hills like never before with on and off-road rentals. Nearly 4,000 miles of trails to explore and 2 convenient locations to rent from in Hill City and Custer. Providing the best way to see the hills and making Custer great again, it's Adventure Rentals.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Dylan Kessler today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
At Dakota Discount RV, our mission is to make your RV experience fun and easy by providing quality recreational vehicles, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. We're proud to offer the finest names in RVs. Our big inventory of fifth wheels, travel trailers, and toy haulers allow us to save customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Come see us at either of our two locations, 3330 East Mall Drive, Rapid City, or 11200 JB Road, exit 48, Somerset.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Now's the perfect time to bring your tractor, combine, windrower, or self-propelled sprayer into Grossenberg Implement for an air conditioner checkup. For just $150, their certified techs will inspect and make sure your AC is running at peak performance, so you can stay cool in the field all season long. Visit your local Grossenberg Implement and talk to a service manager for full details. Grossenberg Implement, keeping you cool where it counts.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Melissa Christensen with Engel & Volkers is a trusted real estate advisor in the Black Hills. She brings precision, dedication, and clear communication to every transaction. Melissa focuses on service, not sales, always putting her clients first. She's also passionate about supporting local youth activities, helping to strengthen communities and build a brighter future for our kids. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Melissa is here to guide you every step of the way. Stop in or call Melissa Christensen with Engel & Volkers today.
Out here, you'll learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Hi, I'm Kira Nelson, middle hitter. Thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
Hi, I'm Kaya Ellerton, libero. Thanks for watching Wildcat TV.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Carson Drug in Custer is an independent family-owned business that exists to improve the quality of life for their customers and to make their community great. At Carson Drug, they work hard to ensure their pharmacists and staff not only assist customers with their needs, but build good relationships that will last for the long haul. If you want a first-class pharmacy experience from a South Dakota independent pharmacy, you've come to the right place. Carson Drug, a community pharmacy designed for you.
Hi, my name is Ava Jari, and thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
Hi, I'm Ava Hone, right side hitter. Thank you for watching Wildcat TV.
We connect people. Have been for 100 years or so. How we get that done? Well, that won't always be the same. But why we connect people? Not in a million years is that ever going to change. We didn't build the communities that made South Dakota. No. We just brought them together.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
I'm Senior Lincoln Robb. Thanks for watching Wildcat TV.
You're ready for your next adventure in life, but you seem to be stuck on trying to figure out what to do. Start your next adventure to the Black Hills with Adventure Rentals. See the hills like never before with on and off-road rentals. Nearly 4,000 miles of trails to explore and 2 convenient locations to rent from in Hill City and Custer. Providing the best way to see the hills and making Custer great again, it's Adventure Rentals.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything.
All right, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm Tayton Vincent bringing you this announcing here at the homecoming football game. We've got just under a minute here remaining in our halftime as the homecoming festivities and awards and things like that were announced. The King and Queen, Haley Woodward and Brady Virtue for the Custer Wildcats, and we're going to bring you some football action here to finish out the night under the lights here in Custer, South Dakota at the Custer football field. So just a little bit about that first half there. You know, Custer took over on the first possession, only had about 7 yards on it, and then muffed the snap on the punt, and Imbermino took off and wasn't quite able to get to the outside and didn't quite pick up the first down. So turnover on downs. The Cavaliers took over on their own 24, or on the Wildcats' 24-yard line. So they had 24 yards to go. 2 plays later, walled to Juvie for a 17-yard touchdown reception there, and then the field goal was good, so they went up 7-0. Then Custer took over on their own 27 after the kick return, and then there was an interception taken to the house by Max Speed as the Cavaliers took the 14-0 lead early. Then again, Custer took over on their own 27, had 9 plays, got the ball across midfield, had a snap go over their head, and then ended up having to punt. St. Thomas More, 3 plays later, went 70 yards. The last play being a 41-yard touchdown reception from Max Speed, and they took the lead 21-0. Custer then turned it over just as the second quarter had started. St. Thomas More got the ball on the Wildcats 35. 4 plays later, they had a that was about a half yard. Excuse me, I wrote that one down wrong. Touchdown rush by Juvie to take the lead. They went for 2 and went up 29-0. Then Custer started on their own 22, had 4 plays, and ended up with the turnover on downs. As Imbermino kind of saw a gap there, as the snap was just dropped, he scooped it up and took off running and came up just short again on the fake punt. There, don't know if it was called or not. And then St. Thomas More scored 1 play later on a 26-yard touchdown reception by Negebauer and went for 2. 2-point conversion was good as well. So they took the lead 37-0. And then Custer had a 10-play drive and then attempted a field goal. The field goal was missed. There was a personal foul on the play on one of the blocks that had happened. So a touchdown was waved off for the Cavaliers. And they started on their own 10-yard line. Well, that touchdown was waved off. They dropped back, threw 1 pass. That pass was complete to Sales, and Sales took it 89 yards. And the field goal was then good after that touchdown. And that brings us to the 44-0 score in the Cavaliers' favor here. And the Cavaliers will be getting the ball to start the second half. Again, just a reminder here, the clock is going to run the remainder of the game. And if at any point the Cavaliers take the lead by 50 or more, the game will be called due to the mercy rule. So if the Cavaliers score on this possession, this game will be over. At this moment, I'm just going to take the time to wish the boys and girls Custer cross country team the best of luck as they're over in the eastern half of the state, over in Huron. The site for the state cross country meet this year, as the site rotates from place to place from year to year, this year being in Huron. So they get to see that course and check that course out here to get things going. We've got the officials waiting here. I wonder if they're waiting for the C to kind of be put out. I'm not entirely sure here. We've got an excellent fire crew over there working to pull some of it off and get it all put out for us, as we appreciate the services that they do for us to take care of us out here in the hills. The Custer soccer squad has one more game remaining on the season. They are winless on the season. They've been showing improvement throughout the year, scoring a couple more goals. I think their most recent game was against Hot Springs, where they lost 4-2. Just didn't get many shots to fall on goal. And the Hot Springs Bison took advantage of the fewer attempts that they were able to have there. As the fire is out over there, the officials are finally ready to let Emermino kick this one off. This one bounces, kind of dropped right at the 20. Taken by, I believe it's McLeod. As I was fumbling my papers around there, trying to just find my roster one more time. Got a little disorganized, but here we are.
The second half will have a running clock.
The Cavaliers will start this possession on their own 33-yard line. Guy in motion. They'll drop back and throw a pass on this one. Golder got through the line, and Golder will have a sack on the play. Nice play from Golder there.
Lincoln Golder with the sack.
He was through on that one. I kind of thought like he got held on the play even. But able to still fight that offensive lineman off and was able to get a sack on the play. So nice play there from Lincoln Golder. And that'll be a loss of 3 on the play. Great pressure there. This one's a handoff to Juvie. And he'll gain 4 on the play, so that'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Cavaliers.
Juvie on the carry. It's just past the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and
So here the Wildcats are in a position to come up with a stop and force a 4th down. They've been here 2 other times and been unable to do that. The last time, I believe there was a touchdown on that play. Three in a little bunch on the left side. They'll throw this one right over the middle to Speed. Speed's going to get enough for the 1st down, and David Lewis drags him down at the 49-yard line.
It will be a Cavalier 1st down.
Good job by David Lewis to bring him down there. Looks like he's maybe cramping a little bit on the play, or maybe got kicked in the calf. Those are always painful when you're out there playing and kind of get a dead leg in there. But great little spot there that Max Speed was able to find over the middle of the field as Noah Wald connected on the pass. Speed in motion, snap, quick to the outside, cut back across the middle. Virtue is going to bring him down at the 15-yard line. That was Broden Sales. Broden Sales on that one. Took the quick pass all the way out there at about the 48 and cut all the way back across the field, picked up a couple of blocks, went past the outstretched hands of one of the Wildcat defenders, and Virtue chased him down at the 15-yard line there. So it'll be 1st down and 10 at the Wildcat 15-yard line for the Cavaliers. This one faked. An out route. They're going to the end zone. He finds him. Big hit on the play. Pass was kind of broken up by Emermino and Lewis. Intended for Broden Sales, who just had the last reception. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Cavaliers at their own 15. They've gone to the air frequently in this game. Again, the clock will run due to the size of the lead. So the clock continues to tick away on this possession. The Cavaliers have been the only team to have the ball this quarter. The Wildcats need a stop to extend the game. The Cavaliers score a touchdown here. The game will be over. Handoff to Juvie. He spins, and he gets stopped at the 6, so it'll be 1 yard, maybe only a half yard.
Was the first Wildcat there.
Blaze Arp was there on the tackle as the official goes to throw the football to the other official, and Blaze Arp was walking across there, and the ball thumps him in the helmet. We'll see there's a flag on the play. Face mask on the Wildcats, unfortunately, so that should be half the distance to the goal, and that'll be first and goal for the Cavaliers. Cavaliers on the 3-yard line. Need a goal line stand here for the Wildcats to extend this one. Cavaliers in an I formation with two men out wide. Ball is taken, handoff quick. Swallowed up, though, by Golder. McLeod. McLeod will gain 1, so I bring up second and goal from the 2. Golder again had that awesome sack earlier in this drive, but then we haven't been able to quite put together enough stops to force the Cavaliers into making any fourth down decisions. And then the unfortunate penalty there, which would have been a 3rd down and 1, so still defense would need to make a stand there. So we'll see what happens here on this play. QB sneak, and he's going to get into the end zone. That one there is going to finish that drive. And with that touchdown, that one was from Noah Wald. And that'll finish the game as the Cavaliers win 50-0. That'll take the Cavaliers to 4-0 on the season. And the Wildcats will move to 0-4. The Wildcats' next game is going to be at Lee Deadwood next Friday, as the Wildcats look to get into the win column. On tonight, just reflecting on some of the plays here to give out 2 of player of the games. I'll give 1 out for the Cavaliers and 1 for the Wildcats. Of course, there's nothing, no prize for any of that, but I just like to recognize a couple of the performers of the night. I'm going to have my first defensive one of the year, and that's probably going to have to go to Max Speed. For the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. Obviously, he was doing stuff on the offensive end of the field as well, as he had the 41-yard touchdown reception, but that 17-yard interception and the amount of pressure that he put on the quarterbacks and a couple tackles for loss that he had on these plays, as the 2 teams are going to gather at the center of the field and pray together tonight. The Wildcats, I'm going to go with, on that one, I probably have to go with Vic John Core. For the amount of times that he was pressured in the backfield and knocked around and pushed around back there, he continued to fight and battle. He had a couple of nice little fakes and choices to run on it, and was completing some great passes and things like that to his teammates. Excellent to see out of a young quarterback there if you're a Wildcat fan. As the Wildcats look to get into the win column next week at Lee Deadwood, we are just excited to see the growth of this squad as some of the gauntlet of their schedule, that tough part in the early season, is over. Hopefully healthy enough to start putting things together. You see just glimpses of what they could do together as a squad. The St. Thomas More Cavaliers, again, are ranked number 3 currently. I believe they'll be moving up as the season continues to progress. They've got a good squad there. If you are a Cavaliers fan, should be pretty excited to see as the Wildcats here now are going to line up for their post game. Again, I'm Tate and Vincent here, and I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Custer Wildcat homecoming football game. Our football broadcast crew will be off next week as the team travels again to Lead Deadwood to take on the 0-3 Gold Diggers. But we'll be back in action Friday, October 3rd at 6 p.m. Mountain Time as we host the Hot Springs Bison here at the Custer football field. So until next time, have a wonderful night, and may God bless you all.